get to know each other and introduce new friends to old friends and old friends to new friends and make new friends and the whole 9 yards that goes with this kind of endeavor. Before we get started, I'm going to ask Father Phil, our wonderful pastor, to come up and say a few words and give us a blessing as we go forward, and then we'll continue with our program. Father Phil.
Thank you, Larry. It is a joy to have you here. I was reminiscing a little while ago with one of the parishioners that we did do an evening here 4 or 5 years ago with a gentleman who wrote an article, Driving While Black, and an officer who came to speak. And I know since all the reforms were worked out, this place was used for the meeting, so it does warm my heart that we're involved in the community, we're part of it. And so certainly with Mr. Larry Payne, who works alongside him in the parish, it's a delight to have people here listening to such an important part and reminding ourselves how united we all are. You know, we really do need to work together, and I know that's been said before, and so anything we can do, I can do as pastor and with the parish, please let me know. But let's just silence our thoughts, acknowledge that we are in the presence of a God of love. God, we thank you for this city, for the very air we breathe. The Chief of Priests, Troy Clenner, we thank you for his presence among us, his desire to serve your people, all your people. Deepen within each and every one of us a respect for all life. This we ask. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chief of Police Troy. Is that your job?
That's my job.
Okay.
That's my job. Gotta have a job, you know. Again, I'm just so happy to see and have all of you join us today. Thank you, Father Phil. As Father mentioned, I'm Larry Payne. I'm a parishioner here at St. Theresa's. I do work in community engagement along with my partners who are now combining 2 committees together here, the Social Service and the Social Justice Committee. On behalf of both those committees, we're happy to have you here. This is a first in a series that we're going to be doing called Lunch and Learns. And we're going to use the half hour on a Wednesday once a month, and perhaps even if it gets going well, twice a month, to have speakers come in and to inform not only our parishioners, but parishioners from other parishes across the Archdiocese and other welcome guests. And we have many denominations here represented this morning. And I'm so glad to see our Jewish community and friends here. That is a big piece of this. We're going to have ongoing dialogue together as we go forward. Our guest for this day, as Father has mentioned, is Chief Finner, who is our Chief of Police of Houston Police Department, and Krista Oliver, who is the Deputy Inspector General for the city and the Director of the Office of Policing Reform and Accountability, respectively known as OPRA. And we're going to have both of them make a short presentation, and then we'll open the floor for Q&A from you. And we really want to have you engage with them in a robust Q&A period. But before I bring up Chief Finner, I have to at least stop for a moment in prayerful acknowledgement of how difficult these last 2 weeks have been for all of us involved with the Houston Police Department. And the passing of Officer William Bill Jeffries and the wounding of Officer Michael Vance, who I might add is now out of the hospital, has been an interesting time in Houston for all of us to go through together as Houstonians in prayerful reflection on the life and service of Officer Jeffrey. After eulogy of his funeral on Monday, his daughter Lacey reminded us all that we must, and her words were so telling, that we must play it forward, we must live each day to the fullest, and we must tell those around us every day how much we love them and how much we care for them. And her words to her father, who wrote her this wonderful card when she was accepted at A&M and became kind of their slogan between the two of them: always go forward and never hold anything back. Hold nothing back. Life is too precious and too short to do otherwise. With that comment and backdrop, let me bring up our wonderful Chief Finner, Troy Finner. Please come forward.
Just honored to be here today, and I didn't write a script or anything because I think it's important that we have dialogue. You can come to groups and you can talk for 30 minutes and you're not addressing what they want to hear. And I think more than ever, and let me say thank you for Father and the Jewish faith, the Catholic faith. One thing I've learned here, and especially the last few years, COVID, it does not discriminate. Okay? Sometimes we divide ourselves, and our Maker didn't do that. He wasn't about that, but man and woman, we did it on this earth. But you look at what's going on around us right now. It's so important that we come together. Look at my business, fighting crime and bringing people together. We have parts of our city that have never experienced some of the violent crime levels that other parts have. But everybody's family is important. And in this political environment, it's so important for us to push all the noise away. Good people talk to good people, to good police officers, to good DAs, to good judges, and we step up and we solve problems. That's what we need to do. I get so tired of sometimes and just hearing the crime level, the crime rate. Yeah, it is what it is, but this is a great city. And I'm so proud to be chief of police because incidents where we lose people in the line of duty, first responders, police officers. I've been here 31 years. That was the 32nd police officer that we lost line of duty death. 32nd. So it's not new to me, but it's new to me in my current role as chief of police. And I can tell you, being the number 2 for almost 5 years and going through the line of duty deaths, there's nothing like when you are chief of police and you get that call that one of your men or women en route to the hospital in grave critical condition. And then within minutes, you get that call. He or she didn't make it. Toughest time. You got to face the family, you got to face the community, you got to hold things together. But thanks be to God for this great community. And just as we're doing today, it is a strong sense of security that we have our community because we're unlike any other community. 32 times I've witnessed it. People coming together and pulling together and upholding our department, upholding those families. But the challenge is, let's continue to be together. And that's the charge that I gave to my police officers. Let's not forget. Let's hold it together. And when we're looking at what we can do and reform and helping in this criminal justice system, let's do it together. Let's love one another and work together. Now that's probably not the police talk that y'all wanted this morning, but that's how I'm feeling. And let me give some credit to Larry Payne, doctor to me, friend. What a great man. The vision and the hard work of the mayor's task force on police reform. It is a living, working document in our police department, and it's become a part of our DNA. And that's because of the great work of not only him, but all those members. And Ms. Krista Okorafor, and I pronounced the name correctly. And let me give you some advice. When you have somebody that new comes around and they're so powerful, but they're such a warm person and so intelligent, it means so much to our city and our department and to the mayor's team. You have a tendency of saying Crystal, and the first name, but when you get in a professional setting, you need to know how to pronounce that last name because it's professional. But that's my friend, and I know it's independent, and I want to make sure that people in the city and the citizens understand that she's our Inspector General, and she is independently strong, and she holds us accountable. But to have someone with common sense and so strong and so smart, it is a plus to our department. And I just want to thank the mayor for making that selection. And we're moving our agency forward. But I'm going to step down because I want to bring her up, and I want to be here to answer some questions, because that's what I really came here for, to have some conversations. And Larry, thanks for and this great congregation. Thank y'all so much for hosting. Every time I look around, there's something here that's about the community and about faith and bringing people together. So thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Gosh, now I feel like I have big shoes to fill. It sounds so good. My name is Crystal Corfor, and I am here because of the hard work of Mr. Payne and the entire task force recommendations. That document, like Chief Hunter just said, we are working it. We are collectively discussing what we should do, how we should do it, the best ways to implement it, and then it's bringing about different policy changes and things like that. Everyone is just trying to pursue justice. We're all trying to make this city even better. And so, although I am independent, I really do appreciate the toolage and the advice and the type of office that Chief Benner is running at that police department. From day one, he's like, I am trying to make a change. He wants to see these things done, and there isn't a resistance like I talked to my colleagues in other cities are facing when it comes to police reform. And I think it's so important to acknowledge that. And the support of Mayor Turner and all of these efforts, it is just, it's amazing. And I mean, it's a big job and I'm stressed, but having, having those two being supportive of my endeavors and trying to help us all succeed, it's just amazing. So, the task force recommendations, they came up with 104 recommendations. Of those, the Office of Policing Reform and Accountability was one of them. It was created on April 28th, 2021, pursuant to Executive Order 1-5. Sorry. The Office of Policing Reform and Accountability, that they have decided to call it OPRA, which predates me. It's just a happy coincidence, we'll go with. But the OPRA office, it handles a lot of things. It does online submission complaints, auditing, reviewing with the independent police oversight boards, complaint investigations, independent of the police department, if we ever see fit. And then a lot of engaging in community outreach, which Mr. Payne is so great at helping us do because he's always telling us somewhere to be. One of the things you can do with my office is file a police complaint or a compliment. I like to make sure everyone knows both because I think there's a lot of great officers and I've received lots of compliments through the website. And so you can file it online through this website. You can send an email, you can mail it, you can come in person to my office at 900 Bagby on the 4th floor, or you can call me and we can set up something virtually like Teams or Zoom or any of those things. Or I can come to you if you have something where you just don't feel comfortable doing it online or you want to have that kind of in-person meeting, and you know, getting transportation and things like that might be an issue. You can also follow it at some of your local agencies, like Blue Lag and the NAACP and different organizations like that. If you are a member of an organization and you would like to have some training to help people in your community file a complaint or a compliment, please let me know. Reach out and we can set something up so I can train you guys on how to do that. I also oversee the Independent Police Oversight Board. It is made up currently of 4 panels with 5 members. They review the IED investigations after they're completed, involving in-custody deaths, officers involved shootings, serious bodily injury, and use of force. This is the Police Transparency Hub. This is the initial page of the website down below. You can file the complaint there. You can also view the dashboards. There's 5 dashboards that are available on the website, and also see the policies and procedures for HPD. You can see the general orders, the executive order creating my office. It'll give you a link to the website for my office. One of the 5 dashboards is the Site and Relate dashboard. The dashboards were also part of the task force recommendations to kind of add transparency and allow the community to see what's going on within our police department and how we can make changes and the changes that are coming. On the Site and Release dashboard, you'll see the Site and Release statistics as of September 30th. It's updated on the 2nd of the month. You're able to maneuver and play with these statistics, so you can click on it where it says Site and Release gender. You can click on females and then it'll manipulate all of the statistics to just show females, or you can do it by males, you can do it by race, anything that you want to search by, we show that. This is the traffic stops. It shows you every traffic stop that's taken place since January of last year. And you're able to see what the result of the traffic stop, why the traffic stop was started, was it a moving violation or like a brake light or something like that. And they're also able to manipulate those statistics too based on all of the different things. You can click on one thing, like you could click on moving violation and it will change all of the formatting for that. There's also the use of force dashboard. It shows you the reason for the call out, like why the officers initially made contact with the suspect, what the outcome was, whether somebody was injured, serious bodily injury, death, or no injury whatsoever. It also shows you the race. You're able to manipulate all of this information too. Every dashboard is able for manipulation. Also on the website, there is a data dictionary that kind of goes into detail and explains to you some of the terminology that you might not be as familiar with and how they track it at the police department. This information is coming directly from the police department. It's all part of our transparency to make sure that what you see on the website is what's being tracked at the police department also. This one shows the disciplinary actions. The officer's name is given a unique code, but you can see anything that involves that particular officer, all of their disciplinary, how long they've been on the force, how many actions they've received, what the outcome of those actions were, whether they were suspended or if they were given a verbal discipline, or if it was a positive discipline. However it might be, you can look up those and kind of see what's going on there. And then the last dashboard is for the diversity of the police department. You're able to see from a civilian to an officer, all the way up to chief fenner, and all the way down to someone that just got on the force. These are the different policies and resources that are available here. Like I said, they show the executive order for Site and Release, use of force, the general orders for the police department, my office, the current meet and confer agreement. These are the statistics from last month for the Office of Policing Reform and Accountability. There were a total of 47 complaints received through the IAD or the OPRA website. Of those complaints, there were 9 use of force allegations, 3 in custody deaths, 2 officer-involved shootings, and then 1 serious bodily injury. Those complaints or those investigations will be reviewed by the Independent Police Oversight Board, and they'll determine, they'll make a decision as what they think is most appropriate outcome. These are just kind of, I know I gave a lot of information. I'm sorry. But like Chief Hunter said, I really want to talk to you guys because there's so much that we're doing and I really want to find out what's affecting your community, because I know it's affecting mine, but I don't know what's affecting yours, and I want to be able to make those relationships so that when something does happen, you feel comfortable picking up the phone and calling me or emailing me or reaching out or having someone do, a complaint online or a compliment. But in order to do that, we've got to know each other and we've got to build that trust, and that's really important to me. It's just building that trust and transparency amongst ourselves.